Hi, this is Raphael Pope-Sussman of the Center for Court Innovation. This podcast is part of a series we are doing with people seeking to curb violence and improve access to public health for at-risk minority youth as part of the Minority Youth Violence Prevention Initiative. The initiative is a partnership of the Office of Minority Health at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services at the U.S. Department of Justice that encourages collaboration among public health organizations, law enforcement agencies, and community-based groups. Our podcast series highlights innovative approaches at the 9 demonstration sites that have received funding under the program. Policing Approach Through Health, Wellness, and Youth, or Pathway, is an initiative led by the City of West Palm Beach that seeks to promote healthy adolescent development, discourage harmful and violent behavior, and provide youth with opportunities for positive social involvement. Through the program, police officers serve as mentors and instructors and work alongside participants in community service projects. In October, I spoke with R. Reed Daniel, Campus Manager for the Youth Empowerment Division of the City of West Palm Beach Department of Recreation and Strategic Innovations, Special Agent James Lewis of the West Palm Beach Police Department, and Assistant Chief Sarah Mooney of the West Palm Beach Police Department. Our conversation focused on the role of law enforcement in Pathway, which includes offering critical mentorship and role modeling for program participants and offering meaningful diversion to low-level youth offenders. Hi, I'm Raphael Pope-Sussman with the Center for Court Innovation, and today we're speaking with R. Reed Daniel, Campus Manager, Youth Empowerment Division for the City of West Palm Beach Department of Recreation and Strategic Innovations, Agent Lewis of the West Palm Beach Police Department, and Assistant Chief Mooney of the West Palm Beach Police Department. Reed, Agent Lewis, and Assistant Chief Mooney, thank you for speaking with me today, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, first of all, can you describe the Pathways program?
Well, my name is Reed Daniel. I'm the manager of the Youth Empowerment Center here in West Palm Beach. The Pathway program came about a year ago from a grant we received from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Minority Health, and the Department of Justice COPS office, in which we implemented the city's policing approach to health, wellness, and youth, Pathway. Pathway expanded the city's current crime prevention-based programs and activities, which include diversion and restorative justice efforts, to integrate health and wellness education and services.
And can you talk about what that looks like specifically?
Well, we've formed a number of relationships with what we call key ponders. On the health side, we have the Florida Department of Health, Palm Beach County, the Healthcare District of Palm Beach County, the Mental Health Association of Palm Beach County, and on the crime prevention side, our key ponder is the City of West Palm Beach Police Department. We integrate all those resources together in an effort to combat crime, and specifically juvenile crime, which really targets and focus on juvenile crime involving black males.
And what kind of activities are involved?
Well, the program centers around a lot of our activities. All of these programs are umbrellaed at the Youth Empowerment Center. We have programs in restorative justice. We have programs in crime prevention. We have programs in health and wellness. We have nutrition programs. All of these programs are joined together at the Youth Empowerment Center and offered to our teenagers, our youth who attend here, free of charge.
And what is the role of law enforcement in those programs?
Well, the police department actually is the component that drives the crime prevention initiative. The West Palm Beach Police works closely with the Youth Empowerment Center and other key ponders to find solutions that will divert our youth away from the criminal justice system.
The police in the program work with the youth in what context?
This is Agent Lewis. Basically, with the law enforcement part of it, we do have an officer that's housed at the Youth Empowerment Center during the busy hours of the day. And that officer basically provides mentoring, gives the kids an opportunity to have someone that they can talk to with a law enforcement background. Some of the other programs we also offer, as Reed mentioned earlier, is the NAB, the Neighborhood Accountability Board. The county itself in the state of Florida has seen an increase in juveniles that are entering the criminal justice system for misdemeanor crimes. So in an effort to reduce the number of juveniles going into the system for crimes that are not felonies, we created the Neighborhood Accountability Board, and that gives our first-time juvenile offenders an opportunity to be diverted from the juvenile justice system and to enter a program where they can basically take responsibility for the actions or the crime that they committed, but also it provides the community an opportunity to address the issue together and also instill some community feelings to these kids so they understand that the impact of the crimes that they've committed. We also have a great program. It's for gang prevention that is offered here at the Youth Empowerment Center. That gives kids, middle school and elementary age kids, the opportunity to learn gang prevention before they get into high school where they're kind of susceptible to be brought into the gangs. We also have our Operations Violence, which addresses issues with offenders, felony offenders between the ages of 14 to 24 who committed felony crimes within a targeted area in our city. That program, when kids commit a crime, we have a task force, including members of our Youth Empowerment Center, the Urban League of Palm Beach County, and some other partners that we have. And we give these kids an opportunity to basically take ownership of what they did. It's a voluntary program, but when it's time for them to go to court, as long as they successfully completed one of the programs that's offered here at the Youth Empowerment Center for the youth, when it's time for court, we'll go and speak on their behalf to let the judge know that while they were awaiting trial, they did some positive stuff, whether it was obtaining a GED, coming here for tutoring, or being part of some of the other programs.
Assistant Chief Mooney, do you have anything to add to that?
I would say it's going into the second year of this grant, we have an opportunity to kind of expand what we did last year. Last year, the officers definitely had more presence at the Youth Empowerment Center, but this year we're going to have the opportunity to have some of the officers that come in typically present some of their own types of programs that they want to initiate. So we're trying to encourage the startup of a couple different initiatives that haven't been laid out yet, that if we give the officers the time to have some autonomy to develop things that they're already good at, maybe whether it's a sports program, it might be some sort of hobby that they have that they could teach to the kids that come out to the center, something that's totally different outside of the ballpark of typical police interaction with the youth, to kind of let the kids see that the officers aren't just officers. You know, they're just like everybody else. So this year, that's going to kind of be our goal, to expand what we did last year. Instead of just having a presence and just kind of interacting, that we actually develop some new programs that would be specific to officer-initiated type of events.
Do you have a sense of any specific programs that you have in mind?
Well, we were talking about even having like maybe a basketball 3-on-3 competition where you'd have some officers come in playing against the kids or playing with the kids. They have a tennis court, and we have a couple of officers that are tennis players. We're going to try to initiate something with that this year. We also are involved in doing kids and cops meetings where basically it's almost a sit-down kind of a chat session where you have a couple officers come in and the kids kind of have the opportunity to ask any questions they want and have a one-on-one or a group setting so that they have access to the officers to kind of get a feel for where we're coming from, and we get a feel for where they're coming from, too.
And what has been the response?
I'll leave that to you.
Well, it's been phenomenal. We have officers who actually come here, and I want to say they become like a surrogate parent in a way. They really attach and bond to some of these kids, because many of our kids who come to our center come from low-income, at-risk homes, single-parent homes where the mom is working. Most likely, in most cases, the dad is away. So these kids come here and we provide for them that community culture of safety, first of all, but we also, through these officers, are able to provide mentoring and really those relationships that start to grow beyond the Youth Empowerment Center and into the community. So we're excited about that. I've seen that happen, and it's a tremendous way of impacting a child's life when you see these officers and these kids engage in different activities and conversations. I think that's one of the greatest opportunities we provide here at the Youth Empowerment Program.
Okay, if I could add as Agent Lewis again, one of the things, when Reed first approached us with the grant, he mentioned that it was a health component in the grant with policing. And myself, Detective Mooney, and Detective or Sergeant Neely, we basically did not understand where the health part and police came into play. But after we sat down and we realized that the health part also included mental health, we saw the true definition or true connection between the two, the police part and the Youth Empowerment Center. Because a lot of our offenders, a lot of the crimes that they commit are crimes that at the end of it, we realized there's a mental aspect to it, whether it's the behavioral part or some issues that are deep embedded in the youth that we're dealing with. So before, we were just going out to these kids saying, okay, we can get you a job, we can get you a GED, but then, they'll realize there's more stuff. There's a lot more to what they're going through, whether it's, broken homes or just needing someone to talk to. And mental health folks that we have as partners have really been instrumental in helping these kids with some of the needs that they need or that they have. So this grant has worked great for us. We're seeing a reduction in crimes that are being committed by some of our youth because now they have an avenue. They have someone they can talk to. If they have some anger issues, they know they can call over at Youth Empowerment Center, speak to Reed or his staff members, and they can get them in contact with some of our partners on the mental health side.
And do you have any plans to measure results, whether it's a community survey?
Of course, during the first year of the grant, the Center for Court Innovations provided what they call a process evaluation. We've just been in touch with our local criminal justice commission, and they will probably do our outcome evaluation over the 3 years. Document registrations, document assessments, pre-assessment, post-assessment, document how many kids come in the program, where they go. We're going to track these kids up to 6 months after they even leave our program to just see how it's going and what the results are.
And on the police department side?
On the police department side, the kids who went through our program, we also keep track of them, especially those who are part of Operation Youth Violence Reduction, Intervention, and Prevention. Those kids that go through the program, if they still have an active or open court case, we'll document them or observe them throughout the process. And after they complete our program, we do a 6-month evaluation, and we stay in contact with them and also the providers, the service providers that they reached out to. And then for the NAB, we're going to do a 6-month evaluation, basically just to make sure that they're still using the principles of restorative justice, and then a 1-year assessment to see where they are in life to make sure that they're still on track. And also, one thing that we do give all of our participants, they have all of our contact information. So if any time during the course of that 6 months or a year they have any issues or any obstacles, we encourage them to give us a call so that we can help them along the way as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So this is Raphael Pope-Sussman, and I've been speaking with Reed Daniel, the Campus Manager, Youth Empowerment Division, City of West Palm Beach, Department of Recreation and Strategic Innovations, Agent Lewis of the West Palm Beach Police Department, and Assistant Chief Mooney of the West Palm Beach Police Department. For more information about the Center for Court Innovation, visit www.courtinnovation.org.